Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So today we'll start a new course, the basics of Sanskrit grammar and chandas. So we will begin with the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Shabadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So today we are starting this new course, basic crash course for Sanskrit grammar in English. So we will discuss about why it is important. So today is the introductory class. Today we'll first discuss the importance of this Sanskrit language and why it is necessary for devotees to learn Sanskrit. And then we will start with some basics like Sanskrit alphabet and what are the different varnas and all. We will get started today. So before starting, I'd like to tell you that this course, this Sanskrit course is going to be interactive. So I cannot just state the facts that these are the rules of Sanskrit grammar and you are done. No, it's like the goal of this course is that you have to learn Sanskrit. If you have any doubt at any point, you need to stop me and ask questions. So after like explaining one concept, I will stop and ask for questions, and you have to interact, you have to participate. Otherwise, it is very difficult for me to get feedback whether you are actually learning or not. Okay. So that's one thing, that you have to be much more interactive. And the second thing is you must take notes. Without taking notes, it will be very difficult to go through this course. So whatever we discuss, you have to note it down in a notebook. You can digitally take notes in your like iPads and all, or in pen and paper also you can take notes, but taking notes is mandatory if you want to understand and really get the benefit of this course. So first, let's begin with this. Why to learn Sanskrit? So I was pondering on this and I have written some points here. And as an introduction, you should also write all these points. We'll go through one by one. In your notebook, you should write all these points. So why should we learn this Sanskrit language? What is the importance? Sometimes as devotees, we generally focus more on bhakti, right? And sometimes we also say that being a Jnani yogi is not good. Jnani means he tries to know things and he is curious. So Jnanis generally they study a lot Vedanta. They are Sanskrit scholars, right? Generally, the Mayavadis or the followers of Sankaracharya, they are very expert in Sanskrit language. They always study the Vedas and Vedantas, and we criticize them. Srila Prabhupada has criticized them many times in the text. We can see that these uh, Jnana yogis, they are mental speculators. Srila Prabhupada uses this term, mental speculators. They try to capture Krishna with their intelligence. These Jnanis, they think I'm so intelligent that I can understand Krishna with my intelligence. Okay. In Srimad Bhagavatam and in many other places, it is spoken that Krishna cannot be captured by our intelligence. Like in the Upanishads, there is a verse, Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya na Medhaya na Bahuna Shutena Yameba Isha Brinute Tena Labhyas Tashaisha Atma Vibrinute Tanumsham. So Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya. By giving pravachan or by speaking about Krishna, you cannot get Krishna. Na medhaya, not by your intelligence. Na bahuna shutena. If you cultivate a lot of knowledge, you cannot get Krishna. Then what is the way to get Krishna? Yameva esha brinute tena labhyas. You have to be particularly chosen by the Supreme Lord. The Lord must choose you. That, okay, I am being merciful upon this living entity and I reveal myself to this person. Then only you can understand Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also, it's spoken, Bhaktya mam avijanati javan jas chashmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gatva vishate tadanantaram. Only by devotional service, Lord can be known. So devotional service means I am trying to please Krishna selflessly. I do not have any other motive. And if Krishna is pleased by my devotional service, then Krishna may reveal himself to me. Therefore, Krishna is called Swarat. Srimad Bhagavatam, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam explains different characteristics of absolute truth. And one of the characteristics of the absolute truth is that Krishna is Swarat. Janmadasya jatanvayaditarataschaartheshvabhignya Swarat. Swarat. So Krishna is supremely independent. We are part and parcel of Krishna, so we have minute independence, but Krishna is supremely independent. Our independence is very minute and depends on Krishna. If Krishna turns off the switch, then we cannot move even our hands or legs. But Krishna's independence is not hindered by anyone, is not controlled by anyone. Therefore, Krishna is the supreme controller. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindam Sarva Karana Karanam. So therefore Krishna is the supreme controller. Our independence is dependent on Krishna. For example, in the powerhouse, there is production of electricity. And from the powerhouse, electricity is coming. And now in our home, we can operate our like fan, light, AC using switches. Local switches in our homes. Now, suppose the power supply is turned off at the power station. Then you do not have any control. There will be no power. Whether you turn on your switch or turn off your switch, it does not matter because the main power supply is off. Similar happens with our independence. If Krishna wants, Krishna can take away our independence. But Krishna is very merciful. Krishna has given some independence, that we can choose our actions. But Krishna is Swarat. So why we are discussing Krishna is Swarat? Because Krishna cannot be known by scholarship. So we came from that point that we criticize the Jnanis, but by learning a lot, we cannot understand Krishna. Then why we are learning Sanskrit and trying to become a Sanskrit scholar? What is the utility? Just do bhakti, just chant the holy names and everything is all right. You do not have to be a Jnani, right? So whatever we do, that is done for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it is a simple wastage of time. If we are doing something in our life which has no connection with Krishna, then it is a pure wastage of time. So definitely, devotees will not do that. One of the characteristics of devotee is abhyartha kalatvam. There are different stages of devotional service. Adu shaddat tato sadhu sangota bhajana kriya tato anartha nivritti tato nishta ruchis tatha. Then after ruchi comes ashakti, bhava prem. So Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava, Prem. So there are different stages of devotional service. In the Bhava stage, if one gets to the Bhava stage, different qualities starts manifesting. And one of the qualities is Abhyartha Kalatvam. Shantir Abhyartha Kalatvam, Viraktirmana Shunyata, Ashabandha Samutkantha, Namagane Sadaruchi, आशक्तिस्तद्गुणाख्याने प्रीतिस्तद्वसतिस्थले इत्तादयोनुभावस्योर्जाति भवंकुरे jane. So a devotee who has reached the level of bhava is having shanti, abhyartha kalatvam, virakti, manashunnata, all these different qualities. So this quality, abhyartha kalatvam, means devotee does not waste a single moment without Krishna's service. So definitely our study of Sanskrit is to help in our devotional service, to enhance our devotional service. Our motivation should not be to become scholar or just by scholarship and we keep arguing with different devotees or we find faults. Oh, this Bhagavatam speaker is having a pronunciation issue. Oh, this Bhagavatam speaker is explaining things in a wrong way. So this is a privilege or opulence which we are learning. Sanskrit can be a great opulence, but we have to be careful that we should not increase our fault finding tendency by learning this. So that's like the disclaimer before going through this course. So the first thing is Srila Prabhupada once told a disciple that, are you reading my books? The disciple told, yes, Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada asked, are you studying my books? The disciple told, yes, Prabhupada, I read your books daily. Srila Prabhupada again asked, are you studying my books? Then he told, yes, Prabhupada, I am reading daily. Prabhupada asked the third time, are you studying my books? So Srila Prabhupada is trying to mean that reading and studying are two different things. Reading means just like we read a newspaper. That's kind of reading. But study means I take that thing seriously and I want to go deep. Like our academics is called study, college studies, school studies, means I learn and then I evaluate myself in the exams. So like that, I attend the classes, I take notes, I go through that, I make a revision and I appear for the exam. So this is called serious study. So Srila Prabhupada wanted that his disciples and devotees should go through Srila Prabhupada books scrutinizingly with great care. Okay. And what are these Srila Prabhupada books? Srila Prabhupada will not write any story book, simple story like novel or something like that. All the books of Srila Prabhupada, they are nothing but scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita. All are scriptures written by previous acharyas. And Srila Prabhupada is giving that in a simple way to us in English. Okay. So all the books of Srila Prabhupada, they are nothing but scriptures. And if we read Srila Prabhupada, like study Srila Prabhupada books scrutinizingly, that means we are learning scriptures scrutinizingly. Okay. So that is very important. Srila Prabhupada wanted the devotees that they should study the scriptures very scrutinizingly. And for that, Sanskrit has a great role to play in this, in studying the scriptures scrutinizingly. So first of all, even if you do not learn Sanskrit, Srila Prabhupada has done this mercy that we can understand scripture. Srila Prabhupada translated the scriptures in English language so that we can understand. Okay. So that's for the people who cannot understand. Yeah. So that's for the people who cannot understand Sanskrit. Like worldwide, there are people from different culture. Like generally people from Indian origin and the Indian languages, they are very similar to Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the mother of all languages, but the Indian languages like Bengali, Hindi, or Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, they are very similar to Sanskrit. And many of the words, they are common in Sanskrit and all these languages. So for Indians, it is little easier to learn this Sanskrit, and even they can guess the meaning of some verses because they have the knowledge of their mother tongue. But for other people worldwide, Srila Prabhupada has done this mercy. Even if you do not understand Sanskrit, you get to understand the scriptures. But if you have the knowledge of Sanskrit, then it is wonderful. New perspective of the scriptures will open before you. Okay. And scriptural study will become very enjoyable to you. And you will develop attachment in scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam says that if you do not develop attachment to reading scriptures means reading about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, then your life is useless. Dharma swanusthita pumsa vishwakshena kathashvya notpaded yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. So if you do not understand, if you do not develop taste for hearing Harikatha, if you do not develop taste for reading scriptures, then all your efforts in human life, they are useless. Shrama eva hi kevalam. You have just done great labor like a donkey. There is no utility. So this Sanskrit will help us to go deeper into the scriptures, and different hidden perspectives and newer meanings, they will get revealed to us if we have this knowledge of Sanskrit. We know then there are different followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one of the prominent followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srila Jiva Goswami. Srila Jiva Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis. Sri Rup Sri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. So Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. These are called 6 Goswamis. And they are specially empowered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they can be called the expansion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are like the second body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done so many different services through them, which he could not accomplish himself. For example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not stay in Vrindavan. After taking sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Shantipur, and there was a meeting between devotees, and it was decided Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be in Puri, because otherwise Sachi Mata will not get news about updates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if Mahaprabhu stays in Puri, devotees keep on going to Puri and coming to Bengal, so communication will be there. Sachi Mata will be happy. To pacify Mother Sachi, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu selected Jagannath Puri as the base camp, and he visited Vrindavan once. But he specially empowered these 6 Goswamis and sent to Vrindavan and gave them different tasks like establishing different temples. In Vrindavan, if we currently go, the Goswami temples are the most important. Madan Mohan temple by Sanatana Goswami, Radha Govinda Dev temple by Rupa Goswami, Radha Raman temple. These are the most important places to visit in Vrindavan, the temples of Goswamis. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established temples through the Goswamis. And then there is the Leela Sthalis, Radha Krishna. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came around like 500 years ago, and Krishna came in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, Krishna actually completed the pastimes and went to Goloka, and it was around 4,500 years after that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So in this 4,500 years, all those Leela Sthalis or pastime places, they were becoming extinct because Krishna left the planet. The Vrindavan Dham also squeezes and Vrindavan unmanifests gradually. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered these 6 Goswamis and told that you should excavate all these places like Shyamkund, Radhakund, Bamshi Bhat, etc. All those important places. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified and through the medium of the Goswamis renovated the pastime places. And this is Mahaprabhu's contribution. That's why those pastime places are still visible. Otherwise, after Krishna's departure, it again became a forest. Vrindavan is a forest. Again, it became a forest and everything is gone. Okay. So the Goswamis were specially empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they were manjaris from the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is a hierarchy. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and Srimati Radharani serves Krishna. And Radharani is serving Krishna, and the Ashtasakhis, they help Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna. And then there are manjaris who are assistants of these Sakhis. In the ISKCON Mayapur, if we go, we can see Radha Madhav along with Ashtasakhi. So these manjaris are the assistants of these Sakhis. For example, Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari, assistant of Lalita Sakhi. And there are different Goswamis, like Jiva Goswami is Vilasa Manjari, Sanatan Goswami is Labanga Manjari. They are eternal associates of the Lord from Goloka, directly coming to this planet to teach us devotional service, to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Radharani and Krishna himself, to help Radha Krishna in their pastime. All these manjaris, they appeared as 6 Goswamis. So they are very, very exalted personalities. And Jiva Goswami wrote a literature, Harinamamita Vyakaranam. Jiva Goswami is spending a lot of time to compose this literature. Harinamamita Vyakaranam. This is nothing but Sanskrit grammar, but with the names of Lord Hari. We will see how. For example, today we will see the Sanskrit alphabet. There, in the alphabet, we know there are vowels and consonants. So generally, the vowels are called swara, and the consonants are called vyanjana. This is the regular notation. Now, Harinamamrita Vyakaranam says, swara or the vowels, Jiva Goswami renames that as Sarveshwar. Swara means sound. But Sarveshwara means Sarva Ishwara, who is the controller of everything. Sarveshwara means Krishna. Then there is Vyanjana. Vyanjana means consonants. Jiva Goswami renames it. No, it is not Vyanjana. It is Vishnu Jana, the devotees of Vishnu. So this is how, with the names of Lord Hari, Jiva Goswami is making different sutras for Sanskrit grammar. And devotees should study this. So in the Mangalacharan of Harinamamita Vyakaranam, Jiva Goswami writes, Ahata Jalpita Jatitam Trishtva Shabdanu Sasana Stomam Harinamavali Valitam Vyakaranam Vaishnavartham Achinmaha. Ahata Jalpita Jatitam. So this Sanskrit grammar is a very complicated subject. Drishtva Shabdanu Sasana Stomam. So Jiva Goswami studied this Sanskrit grammar extensively, and then Harinamavali Valitam, and tinged this Sanskrit grammar with the holy names of the Lord. Vyakaranam Vaishnavartham Achinmaha. I am writing this Sanskrit grammar for devotees, not for ordinary people. And whenever something is written for devotees, that must be in connection with the Supreme Lord. Narada Muni told Vyasadeva in the Narada Vyasa Sambad, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. So Srila Vyasadeva wrote different Vedas and Puranas. Still, Vyasadeva was dissatisfied at heart. So then Narada Muni came, and Narada Muni told that, "O Vyasadeva, you have done such a nice and philanthropic activity. You have written down all the Vedas and Puranas for the Kali Yuga people. Kali Yuga people, they have short memory. Prayena alpayusha sabhya kalo asmin juge jana manda sumandha matayor manda bhaghi upadrita." So Kali Yuga people have short-term memories and they are not very intelligent. So they will not be able to memorize the scriptural verses. Previously, the other name of Vedas was Shruti because it was heard and remembered. But Kali Yuga people cannot do that. So Srila Vyasadeva wrote them down. This is a great philanthropic activity. Narada Muni is asking why you were despondent, why you were dissatisfied at heart, even after doing such a philanthropic activity. It is because you have not glorified Krishna and Krishna Bhakti enough in your literatures. And Narada Muni was very harsh on Vyasadeva. Just see here, Narada Muni is a devotee of the Lord and Vyasadeva is Supreme Lord himself. In this pastime, the Supreme Lord is being chastised by his devotee, who happens to be the Guru of Vyasadeva. So whenever the Supreme Lord comes, Supreme Lord shows us the importance of accepting Guru. But there is no one superior to God. So if God comes and he has to accept a Guru, whom he will accept? There is no one superior to God. So therefore, God accepts a devotee as his Guru. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Ishwarapuri, Krishna accepted Sandipuni Muni, and Vyasadeva accepted Narada. So Narada Muni is saying, Vyasadeva, devotee is saying to the Lord that Najadvachas chitrapadam harirjasho jagat pavitram praganita karhichit tadvayasham tirthamushanti manasa najatra hamsa niramantu shikshaya. Najadvachas chitrapadam harirjasho jagat pavitram praganita karhichit. If some literature is describing something and that description does not contain the glory of the Supreme Lord, that glory of the Supreme Lord, which alone can purify this entire world. Krishna's glory is a very purifying thing. And if your literature is devoid of this Krishna's glory, then tad vayasham tirtha mushanti manasa, I consider that literature to be a dustbin. Narada Muni is saying this. Vayasham tirtham. If you know Sanskrit now, you will understand the play of words. This is the beauty of Sanskrit. When you learn Sanskrit, the verse manifests completely. In the translation, Srila Prabhupada will write mildly for everyone's understanding. That so yeah, we can take this as an example. So this is coming from the first canto, 5th chapter, verse number 10. Najad vachas chitrapadam harirjasho jagat pavitram praginita karhichit tad vayasham tirthamushanti manasa najatra hamsa niramantu shikshaya. Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, which alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly person to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there. So pilgrimage of crows, Srila Prabhupada is writing mildly, but actually Narada Muni chastised very heavily. Pilgrimage of crows means what? Crows, they feast on the dustbin. So the pilgrimage of crows means the dustbin, the place of garbage. Okay, so this is how the word Vayasham Tirtham. Vayasha means crows and Tirtha means a pilgrimage place for crows. Just like Mahakumbha is a Tirtha, many people are gathering. So dustbin is a Tirtha for crows. Many crows, they gather in the dustbin. So this is how we can understand the hidden meanings and the verse manifest. So that is also one point. which I was going to discuss. So here we see that how Narad Muni is chastising Vyasadeva that whatever you have written is lacking the glories of the Supreme Lord. So therefore you should write something full of the glories of the Supreme Lord, and you should write Srimad Bhagavatam. In the next verse, Narad Muni says, Tadvag Vishargo Janata Biplavo Jasmin Prati Shlokam Avadyavatyapi Namanyanantasya Jashunkitani Jat Shinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadhava. So your current writings, they are like pilgrimage place for the crows. But what I suggest you is, on the other hand, that literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories, of the name, fame, forms, pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words, directed towards bringing out a revolution in the impious lives of world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men, sadhus or devotees, who are thoroughly honest. So Narada Muni is telling, your grammatical composition is perfect, but your current composition is lacking the glories of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, I consider that to be a dustbin. I suggest you write something about the glories of the Supreme Lord. Even if there are grammatical mistakes, sadhus or devotees will study, no problem. It is not required for that composition to be very high class, flawless. You just write something about the Supreme Lord and it will be accepted. And obviously, if Srila Vyasadeva writes, it will be flawless. But Narada Muni is telling that faultless literature devoid of the glories of the Supreme Lord is much, much inferior than a literature which has many flaws but describing the glories of the Supreme Lord. So similarly, here Jiva Goswami is telling Vyakaranam Vaishnavartham Achinmaha. And Jiva Goswami definitely knows and studied Srimad Bhagavatam. He knows that devotees are only interested to study something which has connection with the Supreme Lord. And Jiva Goswami is telling, I am composing this Vyakaranam for devotees. Therefore, this Vyakarana is very important to learn for devotees. Those who have the capability, those who have that capability to understand Sanskrit grammar, they should learn at least the basics. Then their scriptural study will be profound. And if our scriptural study is profound, then our attachment to Krishna will be profound. Siddhanta baliya chitte nakara alas, jaha haiti Krishna lagi shudhira manas. If we are deeply attached to scriptures, reading scriptures, when we develop taste for reading scriptures, then we can be attached to Krishna. And when we are attached to Krishna, because Krishna is the source of all pleasure, infinite bliss, we are also blissful. The more we are detached from Krishna, more we are into Maya, and we will suffer in Maya. So, getting attached to scriptures and developing taste for scriptures is very, very important. And that can be done if we study this Sanskrit grammar. There is an example, like we chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra, here actually the names of Radha and Krishna are mentioned. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So different names of Radha Krishna is there. So the name of Radharani is Hara. Hara means Srimati Radharani. But in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the mantra is Hare, not Hara. Why? Because in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, this is in the Sammodhan. So there are different cases or vibhaktis in Sanskrit. So if we have the knowledge of vibhakti, then we can understand, oh, Hare Krishna. If you watch these words, Krishna, Rama, there is no visarga. In general, if you want to say something in Sanskrit, in the Prathama Vibhakti, it has to be with visarga. So Krishna means Krishnaha. So these are called Krishna words like Akaranta Punglinga Shabda. They has to be with visargas for normal usage. So the normal usage for the word Krishna is Krishnaha with visarga. But in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no visarga. Why? A person who does not have the knowledge of Sanskrit grammar cannot understand this. But there is a difference between Krishna and Krishnaha as per Sanskrit. So if we see here, suppose so this is Krishna. Okay, the screen is lagging a little bit, so it will come after some time. Yeah. So Krishna with Visarga and Krishna without Visarga, they have different meanings. Krishna with Visarga, that means Krishna, normal. But Krishna without Visarga means O Krishna. This is a subtle meaning, which you can understand if you have the knowledge of Bhaktis. Similarly, the word is Hara, means Radha. But the word Hare means O Radharani. So that means in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are not telling Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha. No. Hare Krishna means O Radharani, O Krishna. So it helps us in chanting also. This is the proper mood for chanting. We are calling out to the Supreme Lord and the energy of the Supreme Lord. Please save me. Please accept me as your servant. So if we chant with that meaning, then our japa is much more effective. So this knowledge of Sanskrit grammar helps us in our overall sadhana, in our chanting, in our scriptural study, right? So this is one example. There are many examples which we will see in this course. So this is one benefit, that we can go deep into the scriptures and we can understand the meaning of the scriptures better. And also another benefit is we will be able to memorize verses very quickly. And I already experimented with that how much improvement is happening. So I took this basic Sanskrit course in Bengali. Now we are doing it in English also. So previously, so we have a project called SP Lawyer. If you go to our website, nigamakalpataru108.github.io. So here, different modules are there: Sastri study, SP Lawyer, and Vandanam prayers. So this SP Lawyer is a project. And what is this project? Srila Prabhupada had this dream that all our devotees should be like lawyers. They should be able to quote different verses from scriptures. So Srila Prabhupada is telling, just see, you are not reading my books. You have to read my books and you have to study and learn my books just like a lawyer learns the law books. You must know everything chapter and verse. If you do not know, how will you teach this? I mean, unless you know my books. So Srila Prabhupada emphasized on studying Srila Prabhupada books very scrutinizingly, like a lawyer studies the law books. Okay. And Srila Prabhupada wanted that you should be able to, like, you should know everything, every chapter, every verse, so that you can quote those verses to establish your point. Whenever you quote verses from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, your point gets an authority. Otherwise, your opinion does not matter. If you say that, out of different yogas, you should perform Bhakti Yoga, nobody will take this seriously. But you have to say that Krishna in different places in Bhagavad Gita is saying this. Bhaktya mam abhijanati javanjaschasmi tatvatam. Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmanah shraddhavan vajati yomam same yuktatamo mata. This is how you have to establish your point. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Na sadhayati mam yogo na dharma shankha uddhava na shraddhaya tapastyago jatha bhaktir mamurjita. So this is how different points we need to establish. And this is Srila Prabhupada's dream. For that, we have to memorize verses quickly. So I was talking about this experiment. So before learning this basic Sanskrit grammar, people are used to take 20 minutes, 25 minutes to memorize one verse of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita verses are very small. That took around 20 to 25 minutes average. And after memorizing the verse, very quickly they used to forget. But after doing this course, that 25 minutes time reduced to 5 minutes. In every 5 minutes, you can remember one verse. Like at max 5 minutes. If you take this seriously and if you understand everything in this course, and if you practice a lot and you start memorizing, then at a point you will just see a verse. After a couple of recitations, you can remember the verse, even the bigger verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the verse memorization time reduces significantly, and that is experimentally proven. So these are the benefits I'm telling you to motivate for this course, like what benefits you will get. So yeah, verse memorization will become really easy. Just like Sanskrit will become very similar to your mother tongue, as if you are reading the verse in your mother tongue. Then it is very easy to memorize, right? Yeah. Another utility is you'll be able to recite the prayers and verses in proper melody. For example, suppose Srimad Bhagavatam first verse. The verse is very long. There's a 19 syllable verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1. You will see some bigger verses, smaller verses like that. This is the verse you get. How do you recite it? If you have this knowledge of Chanda in Sanskrit, which you will cover, then you will easily know these bigger verses. So one of the bigger Chandas will match. And with a little experience, you will know this is 19 syllable. We will also learn how to count syllables. And based on the syllables, how to pick up different tunes. So the tune for this, there are different tunes, like you can take up Janmadasya Jatanvayaditarataschaartheshwabhignaswarat Tene Brahmaridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Shuraya, like that. Another tune can be Janmadasya Jatanvayaditarataschaartheshwabhignaswarat Tene Brahmaridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Shuraya. The next verse is also like that. So how to understand in which melody to sing this verse? This is a very important skill which we need to learn. The third verse is little different. How do you recite? Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukhamukhadamrita dravasham yutam pivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rashika bhubi bhabukam. So immediately you can understand what is the melody in which I have to sing. And the meaning of the verses will be clear, the melody is clear, and you can offer that verse with feeling to Lord. And when you offer the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and other prayers with feelings, with understanding the meaning, you become very dear to the Supreme Lord. And you will be a chosen one, and Lord will reveal to you. So for that, we have to put some effort. Getting the Lord is not easy. We have to put some effort. But once we get Lord, there is nothing in this world to achieve. So that is very important. Okay, so just like that, we get so many different benefits. In one word, if we learn the Sanskrit grammar, a whole new perspective will open, which you could not see till now. Maybe we came to devotional service like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. But if we did not know Sanskrit grammar, then one portion of the beauty of this bhakti was missing. We could not see. Just like a blind man cannot see this world, the blind man can experience, they can talk with near and dear ones. So they are getting different elements of this world, but they cannot see this world. They are missing something. So similarly, if we do not know Sanskrit grammar, then we were missing something in bhakti, some new perspective, some mellows, some rasa we were missing. If we take this seriously and we understand this Sanskrit grammar, that new mellows will be accessible to us now. Okay. There are many other examples. For example, if we take this Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.42, this is also a very interesting verse. 7th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 42. This is the Prahlad prayers. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord Nishingadev. So Prahlad Maharaj says, so here also, how do we recite these verses? Depends on number of syllables. So here the melody will be Kunvatrate khila guru bhagavan prayasha uttaranesha bhavasham bhavalopaheto Mudeshu vai mahadano graha artha bandho kim tena te priyajanan anushevatamna. And there are different melodies. Some melodies are joyful melodies. Some melodies are like chastising. So here Prahlad Maharaj is so dear to Lord that Prahlad Maharaj is chastising Lord in this verse. Konvatra te khilagoro bhagavan prayasha. This should be the mood. This is how the melody should be changed. But there are multiple melodies for this verse. But this is the melody which will be appropriate. Kunvatra te khilagoro bhagavan prayasha uttaranesha bhavasham bhavalopaheto Mudeshu vai mahadano graha artha bandho kimte nate priyajanana nushevatamna. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, oh Lord, what is your difficulty? Why don't you deliver all these fallen conditioned souls? Uttaranesha bhava sambhava lopa hetu. You are doing so many great activities. Bhava sambhava lopa. Creation, maintenance, destruction of the world just by sleeping in your yoga nidra. You don't even have to get up for that. You are creating this entire world. Just giving a darshan to Brahma and giving all the knowledge to Brahma, how to create and giving all the necessary ingredients and again you go to sleep. So creation, maintenance, destruction, such difficult tasks, they are nothing for you. And for delivering these fallen conditioned souls, you are very reluctant. Why? What is the difficulty? So Prahlad Maharaj is chastising Lord like that. So again, if you understand the Sanskrit, Konvatrate akhila guru bhagavan prayasha. This word prayasha means it is a very hard work for you. Uttaranasya bhavashambhava lopaheta. So you can understand the meaning properly, the bhav or emotion of Prahlad Maharaj properly, if you understand Sanskrit. O my Lord, O Supreme Person of Godhead, original spiritual master of the entire world, what is the difficulty for you, who manage the affairs of the universe in delivering the fallen souls engaged in your devotional service? You are the friend of all suffering humanity. And for great personalities, it is necessary to show mercy to the foolish. Therefore, I think that you will show your causeless mercy to persons like us who engage in your service. So this word, Konvatrate akhila kuro, this is a usage where Prahlad Maharaj is chastising. So we need to understand all these things. So we see how this knowledge of Sanskrit will help us in different ways. And recitation of verses also will become very easy. Memorization will become very easy. Recitation will become easy. And I will give an algorithm how to decide the melody for a given particular verse. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita Mangalacharan, there are different verses for which the melodies can be difficult. For example, Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1.1, if we start. Let's go to advanced view. Yeah. These are Anustup Chanda. Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Ishamisha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Shatat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Shamyakam. That is good. But from verse number 3, this is a 17 syllable verse. Verse number 4 is also 17 syllable verse. Verse number 5 is also 17 syllable. Verse number 6 is also 17 syllable. But they have different meters. For example, verse number 4 has the melody like this. Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalo shamarpayutu munnato jwalarashamsha bhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dutikadamba sandipita shadaridaya kandare spuratu vasachinandana. Verse number 5, although it is a 17 syllable verse, it has a different melody. Radha Krishna pranaya vikritirladini shaktirashmad ekatmanavapi bhuvi pura deha vedam gato tau Chaitanakyam prakatam tadvayam chaikyamaptam Radha bhavadyuti shuvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Like that. If you want to try this melody on the previous verse, it will not work. Anarpita charim chirat. It's not working actually. If you had the, like, I may try to manage it, but it will not work. It will not be fluent. Karunayavatirna kalo. You see, the meter is breaking. It is not properly fitting. So there is specific melody for each of these verses. So we will learn all of them. So you can beautifully recite the verses, you can understand the meaning, and your relationship with the Lord will develop after this by a great extent, which I have also personally experienced, and all the previous students, they have also acknowledged. So hopefully it will be useful for you. So the introduction took long. I will not start anything today. So we just gave a motivation that why we should learn Sanskrit. Hopefully this will keep you motivated enough to continue this course. And like every week, we will try to alternate from the like Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. One of the classes we will take for Sanskrit, and in the other class, we will have discussion about Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So a few concepts I will discuss. The Sanskrit grammar is very huge. If you want to learn Sanskrit grammar completely, it will take you like 12, 13 years. That's not possible. 12, 13 years of regular sadhana is needed. But some key concepts like the chanda, melodies, and like counting the syllables, varna vishleshan, and the knowledge of the alphabets, and vak shuddhi, then sandhi, then nouns and adjectives, and karak, vibhakti, all these, which are key concepts in understanding the meaning, recitation, we will cover that. So by that, you will have a like basic knowledge. You will be able to understand the meaning of a verse just by looking at it up to some extent. So I think it will be helpful. So I think 10, 12 classes it will take, but it all depends on you. I don't want to complete the course very fast and then you don't learn anything. I want to go in like slower pace so that you can absorb, you can practice. So it will require some amount of homework also. If you do not do the homework, then your progress will be slow. Okay. So with that introduction, we end today's class. And from the next class, we can start the alphabets. Anyone is having any questions, you can take. Okay, no questions. So from the next class, as I mentioned, two things are very important. You have to take notes sincerely and you have to interact. I may ask you questions that whether I may take your name and I can ask you questions whether you are understanding. It's very easy. It's not at all difficult, but I want everyone should understand this. Okay. Thank you very much. So we'll continue next week. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuve vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।